How's it going, everybody? Um, I'm going to try this again. Just know that there was two recordings earlier of Dune gameplay, and I fumbled the recording. It wasn't capturing the Discord of my friends when we were on there, and it wasn't picking up my game audio either. But let me show you guys here, kind of like what our progress is here. I'm hoping this recording is going to come out just fine, but we'll see. Maybe if I do this in 30-minute recordings, this will be a lot more digestible. At least that's the plan with this. Um, this is our base. Now, my previous two recordings, I actually showed like did the base tour and everything, and it wasn't picking up any of the audio. Um, so I will try this again since I had to delete that video. Let me go check the flowers over here. Nope, still nothing. Now, if the audio is being picked up correctly, you guys will hear the sand farm in the distance. But it's kind of like the overview of the base. It's just got pretty much, the top floor in the garage. Let me get in here and kind of show you what the garage looks like. This is where we got our vehicles. Kind of a humble garage right now. There's a little bit of a ladder that goes up to the roof up here. Now they don't have ladder animations, so this it just basically looks like I'm climbing any other surface in this game. I don't know if they plan on adding ladder animations, but yeah, it goes up to the roof here, and then you can actually kind of go over here, open this up, and drop back into the base where we started. If you don't know anything about Dune, this is a called a sub thief console, if I can pronounce that right. um, Basically controls a lot of the settings for the base here. That number two means only co-owners can access the settings. You can actually segregate your base out into levels like this from 1 to 5, where 5 basically means anybody that's a stranger can come inside. So, like, if I set this to 5, anybody could come inside the base here, which is kind of the intention for this little area because I want this to be like a guest area so I can come out here and talk to people and stuff like that. If that's a novelty that seems kind of cool. I got this little balcony that looks into this deadly radiation anomaly over here. And then we're gonna make this in here the kind of like a bedroom sort of thing. And if I need to go bigger, I can. I've got room to expand out here. I just actually just found out you can craft something to expand the base. I'm not a pro or anything at this game. I've only been playing it like a week. I did get the advanced early access, and I've only had a little bit of time between work to actually play on it, but we've gotten far enough into this that you go here to research. I'm actually in the steel. I'm actually in the steel section here. The only thing that's holding us back here on the steel section is the what do you call it? The carbon, which my cutter ray can actually cut carbon. But I heard the steel is kind of like a little bit more to the northish. So if I open up the map here, I think I think the steel is up here, which is this stuff is pretty dangerous because I had a friend kind of fly me through this area because he wanted to try to leave the barrier zone that's around this map. It didn't work. But I heard the steel is kind of like up in this direction. What is this? The Hand of Kadir. See, these little points of interest tell you kind of like what's inside them and stuff like that. Now, in order to fully unlock this map, you have to craft a probe and climb up high enough to shoot it into the sky. This is like a trade post over here, so you can do all sorts of different things. And you guys will also probably notice that I have a bunch of skill points to spend, but I have to visit my trainer in order to unlock more points. So right now I'm kind of like holding on to them until I can visit an advanced trainer. And then I would say one of the most important things, if you look at the hotbar here, I have a little water bottle here. I'm actually going to take a sip out of it. Is keeping your water up. That's like one of the hardest things to do. And if you craft one of these handy little collectors that I've got in my hand, I think it's called a dew collector. You can actually just take this straight out of the flowers and put them into the water bottle. See, now I almost have another full sip on this water bottle here. And the indicator that it has water is it'll show up blue on these flowers. And there's a little bit of a base close to us up here. So like, let me get up here real quick. And I believe there's some flowers right here. So if I actually pull this out, I can actually get some more water here. And I spilled 19 milliliters, which means my bottle's full basically. So there's no point in doing that any further. And you guys will, if you ever decide to play this game or have been playing it, you'll notice that there's this little jump feature right here. This is a suspension belt. Kind of like lowers the fall damage depending on what kind you have equipped. I have a unique one called the Emperor Wing Mark One. It's nothing special, but it allows you, if I hit jump twice, I'll actually go up a little bit before gliding back down. Kind of gives you a boost, when you're climbing things. And that we just collected some I think it was sandflower is what they called it, from those white spots in the desert out there, kind of like where that white smoke is. That is extremely dangerous because the longer you're out there, the longer the worm can sense you and try and come eat you. But unlike dying to everything else, actually took a little damage from that fall. Unlike everything else, if you die to the worm, you lose your entire backpack, which is like all of this stuff right here. Which reminds me, speaking of how important water is in this game, come over here and go to the blood purifier. And this is kind of how you start storing up water. There's other methods, and I've got these water containers here for overflow because the blood purifier only holds so much. That explosion right there was a spice plume. Like if you actually go out here, I think it's the same one that explodes next to us all the time. Nope, wasn't that one. It was one pretty close to us. But those things explode all the time, and I think you can get spice from them, but I'm not that far enough into the game. Right now, we're bottlenecked on steel, and we're going to have to go pick up some steel. And that's pretty much the base tour there. Like I said, I hope the audio gets captured well enough. I'm still kind of new to this recording, and I'm just hoping people enjoy watching this content. I don't know how exciting it'll be and all that good stuff. But this is, we also have this door configured to only open up for vehicles, our vehicles specifically. I don't understand why there's sand coming through that. That doesn't make no sense. This is my wife's bike. I think I actually put mine away. Let me double check here. No, there it is. Yep. So you can actually store your vehicle inside here. This is one I actually found out in the open. I claimed it, but it's like all tore up and stuff, if I remember right. Yeah, it's all tore up. So I'm pretty much going to take a welding torch and disassemble all this stuff. But yeah, I'm going to plan on uploading more Dune gameplay, but I wanted to start with the base tour here and show you kind of like where we are at in the game progression wise. I know the level goes up to like 200 something, and I'm like level 26. So, like, if that tells you any kind of indication of how much I got left to go through this, I know a friend of mine's like level 120 or something like that. So it gets quite insane. But we'll leave this here, and hopefully you guys enjoyed that.